Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the ITV Math Show with me, Mohammed Kota. Guys, we started with the trig functions. I didn't give you any homework to do during the break, and we started with the sign. Now, quickly to recap, for those of you who just joined our show, we said we got the sine graph, the cos graph, the tan graph. We said S sine starts at 0. So let's just put it down here on the side just to show you the sine graph. S sine starts at 0. So S from the sine will help you to remember it starts at 0. C from the cos shows you that the graph cuts first. And then we said tans S. Right. Tan graph has got asymptotes. Stop laughing. Right. Here goes. So the first thing, the question in the exam appeared, sketch the graph f of x. We said we're doing a behave graph and misbehave. Behave meaning your standard graph. Misbehave means they're going to go in all different directions. I'll show you. We're getting to it now. So f of x is equal to 3 sine x. The amplitude, the theory questions, guys, 2, 4, 6, 8 marks. Amplitude of the graph, 3. The number in the front, coefficient. If that was a negative, would be minus 3. Domain, from 0 to 360. So x less than or equal to 360 but greater than or equal to 0. The range. Remember, domain refers to x values. Range refers to y values. Your range, lowest to highest. Minus 3 to plus 3. The period of the graph, we say 360. We use a formula. 360 divided by that number. 360 divided by that number is equal to the period. So there we go. 360 divided by 1. 360 divided by 1 is equal to the period. So the period of the graph is 360 degrees. If that number was 2, 360 divided by 2, 180. If that number was 3, 360 divided by 3, 120. So you can do the math. Okay, let's now sketch the graph. Now, I'm going to show you something else which your teachers generally don't show you in school. You want to find out your step. You normally do it on your scientific calculators. I'm going to show you how to do it the manual way, but it's very easy. To calculate your step, meaning that after how many degrees will your graph change? Remember, you need to know after how many degrees. So all you do is you say 90 degrees divided by that number is equal to the change. The graph change. Or let's put a circle here and we say the degree change. That circle refers to degree. So 90 degrees divided by that number will give you your degree change. That means this graph will make a change. This swimmer will make a change every how many degrees? 90 degrees divided by 1 is equal to your degree change. In this case here it's 90 degrees. And in that case your period was 360. The period generally refers to after how many degrees will the graph complete one cycle. That's the period, 360 degrees. Right? We're now going to sketch this graph. Now pay attention and put down your pens. Watch. Typical teacher. Shut up and put down your pens. Let's start. We now know that it's a sine graph. So sine graph starts at 0. So we put 0. This number is positive. So it will go 0 up. Remember, positive is up. Negative is down. So this number here is positive. Positive 3. So it will go 0 up. After how many degrees will this sine swimmer make a change? After how many degrees? Peter, after how many degrees? 90. There we go. After every 90 degrees, he'll make a change. So he'll go up. Watch his motion. Watch the swimmer. So he stands here. He's getting ready. This is probably our rake Neethling in trigonometry. He's standing here at the edge. Jumps up in the air. Turns at 90. That's his change. He comes down. He hits the water at 180. The next 90 degrees. Comes down. Turns at 270 and he stops. One beautiful swim. Well-behaved swim. Jumped in the air, made the turn like a dolphin. Complete, neat, clean swim. We're going to show you some swimmers that do their own thing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Those get hectic. Those are hectic swimmers. Right. Swimmers on tuck. Right. Let's go. That is the sine graph. F of x, and we're calling it graph F. The name of the graph F, and that is the cycle of the graph. Let's leave these questions down and let's now do a cos graph. So here goes. We're now taking this out. Remember these concepts. Remember these concepts because now we're now going to be doing a cos graph. Let's call the cos graph G, just for argument's sake, just for fun's sake, so that you don't see that every graph is given by f. It can be given, the most commonly used alphabets, if you're in grade 10, 11, and 12, you should be knowing is F, G, H. Right. So g of x, the function, is given by 3 cos x, for x being an element of 0 to 360. Now you all might be asking, what if the graph was from minus 360 to plus 360? No problem. Just extend it to the negative and continue the pattern on the opposite side. But remember, your graphs always start from your y-axis, so pay attention. So we've got the amplitude of the graph. Let's first put, what is the amplitude of this graph? Let's change it. Let's make it 4. Some of the parents are watching the show, and let's see whether you are picking up on this concept. Okay, what is the amplitude? 4. What is the domain? The domain, where will the graph lie? Between how many degrees? There we go. From x less than or equal to 360, but greater than or equal to 0. What is the range? We said highest to lowest, or in fact, lowest to highest. So your lowest to highest, if it's the highest is plus 4, the lowest will be minus 4, so it will be from minus 4 to positive 4. And we put a square bracket because these numbers are included. What is the period of the graph? 360 divided by 1. 360 divided by 1, which is equal to 360 degrees. And there you go. The parent, you have scored yourself 8 marks in the exam. Okay. I actually don't even know who the show is all about anymore. Really. Because we meet people in the street and they say, you know what? My kid doesn't want to watch the show. I've got to beg him and drag him. But I'm watching your show. Guys, if your parents are scoring 80% and you are failing, there's something seriously wrong in this country. Let's get started. Right, so we've got this here, and now we need to sketch the graph. So we draw our swimming pool. There we go. We're going up to plus 4. We're going down to minus 4. Our normal Cartesian plane, 90, 180, 270, 360. There we go, 90, 180, 270, 360. Okay, guys. It's a cos graph. Does it start at 0 or does it cut first? Yes, it cuts first. So that means it starts. This swimmer doesn't stand on the floor. He climbs up. He goes to the diving board. That's your diving board. He starts at your height. And now he dives first. He doesn't jump in the air like the sine graph. So he stands on the diving board and he cuts the water first. So he's going to hit a dive. He's going to come, he's going to dive. And after how many degrees will he make a cut? He can cut at 30, he can cut at 45, he can cut at 60, or he can cut at 90. What determines that? I told you, degree change. 90 degree divided by that number is equal to the change. So 90 divided by 1 is how much? 90. That means he's going to come down, cut at 90, turn at 180, cut at 270, and stop at 360 degrees. And that is the path of the cos swimmer. The cos swimmer starts at the height, hits the water, turns. Also, very neat graph, very neat, very clean graph, behaved graph. So here's the cos graph. You might ask, what if that number was negative 4 cos x? You might ask, what if that number was negative cos x, now 4 cos x? Now you've got this graph. Let's just do a negative one just to show you.